It's going to vary as to when your items sell. So I sold these 4 items, this Avenger, this DVD, this DVD, and then this book. And in terms of how long ago they sold, this is the order. So this one I listed January of 2023. This one, um, wow, January, February, March, April of this year. Sorry, April of this year. This one was, oh wow, this one's June of this year, so April, June, and then this one was August, mid-August. Actually, August 14th is when I listed it. So this is a donation. This is a buy, a bulk buy, DVD buy. This is a bulk DVD buy. This was a donation from the local college. I made a video about it back in August. It was a lot of boxes. I can't remember how many there were now. I'd have to go back and look. But this took more than a year and a half to sell, but it sold for $69.99 plus shipping. The Avenger, yeah, took quite a while, but this came from someone who had a lot of really good books, including this type of stuff, comic book, science fiction type of stuff. I've picked up from, so now these were all pickups. I think I've picked up from her at least 3, if not 4 times. I went back fairly recently to pick up some boxes of books as well from her in the last couple of months, but before that it had been a little while, and it's all almost always really good stuff. So either from her profession or things like this that are, you know, comic book related, superhero, science fiction, fantasy type of stuff, all different types. So this one was the best one of the day. By the way, it is Thursday. What is it? September 26th, 2024. So this one sold, and then this one only $9 plus shipping. This came from a large buy I made back in April, all DVD, mostly DVDs. This is actually not the best buy. Then they wanted even more money than I paid. I paid $120 for a bunch of DVDs and some. I think there was a few CDs in there, but mostly DVDs. And they were not, like, they wanted more money. People don't realize, how much, if they're not going to resell it themselves, that selling it to a reseller, that they don't understand that it's not. They're not going to get much for it. Unless they have really valuable, unique stuff. Again, this sold for $9 plus shipping. And then this one was from a local buy in June. This sold for $9.99 plus shipping. It is sealed. Most of those were sealed in that buy. And then this one I recently listed. I can't believe it's been a month ago. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. But this one sold. I took an offer of $30 on this. So I took an offer on this. Actually, I countered. They wanted $5 for this. Such a joke. So I countered with 9, which I felt was more fair considering I had it listed for $14.99. And then this one I had listed for 40, and they offered 25. I came back with 30, and they bought it. It's actually signed right there. And this was a donation from. These were all books from professors who had either retired or were just getting a job, going to teach somewhere else, and just leaving behind a lot of books. So this was really nice, really nice sale, and overall not bad. All right, here we are later in the day, and I sold all of these. This blade, let's see, what is it called? Oh, Blade of the Immortal by this guy. It is Hiroaki Samura. And then it's deluxe edition from Dark Horse Publishers. And it's volume 1 and then volume 5 through 8. So it's definitely not complete, but it's in great condition. This was from that buy that I made. Remember? Oh, there goes that was fun. It was from that buy that I made, which has been about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And I told you I paid up for it. I didn't tell you how much I paid. I paid $200 for this set. The other set that I already sold, which I told you about, was it Helsing, something like that? No, Berserk. Sorry, Berserk. And then I still have the other Helsing one. here, which is the complete set. So the Berserk one sold for 150, and I ended up making 130, profiting 130 off of it. So then that leaves me $70 shy of the 200 that I spent. Now this one just sold for 125. I took an offer. After fees, it should be around 100. So let's just, I'm going to guesstimate about 100. So you add that to the 130 from the other, that's $230, which means I've got my 200 bucks back and I'm $30 in profit. Now, like I said, I still have this Helsing one, which is listed for 150. So let's say if I take an offer, if it sells for the 150, great, I'll make more. But let's just say I end up making 100 profit. So then you add that $100 onto the 30, that's $130 of profit. And then I have 2 more books that I got in that buy. One is currently listed for 80 and the other is listed for 70. So that's a total of $150 if they sell for the top price. If they don't, they don't, right? But that's extra profit. So this is mostly to convince myself, because I usually never spend $200 on a small amount of items. I'm usually spending, hundreds of dollars on entire gaylords of mixed media, or, which I haven't done in a while, or books, but it's usually mixed media or CDs in the case of the last ones that I got. So for me, it's a little strange to spend that kind of money. You tell me, was it worth it, right? $200 so far into $230. And like I said, if the other 3, and the one that's going to sell sooner than later is probably that 3-book Helsing set, which, like I said, is going for 150 right now, is listed for 150, but let's say I get 100 for it, that's $130 profit off of 200, which is not doubling it, but getting close. And if and when I sell those other 2, I should double my money. So eventually I will probably turn the 200 bucks into 400, if not more than $400. So, obviously that's good, but it's a different way of buying. It's buying more valuable inventory that sells pretty quickly. Like, obviously within 2 weeks I've sold 2 of the 3 book sets. We'll see how long it takes to sell the other one. And I mean, that's great, right? But still, 200 bucks is 200 bucks, and you just do your research. I recommend dabbling in, spending 50 cents, $1, $2 on something and turning it into 30 or 50, but also spending 100, 200 bucks on something like this. And then, turning that $200 into, 350, 400, $450, whatever, to see, what your tolerance is for risk and reward and that kind of thing, because these are selling fast. So even if this other one takes, let's say, another 2 weeks, a month, that's still pretty quick. And I'm already in the profit, just not much. But when that sells, and it will sell for sure, based on what I saw, and it is a complete 3-volume set, based on what I saw on eBay, it should sell. It should sell within a month, but even if it takes longer than that, but it will sell at some point here. And I'll put in a video and share it with you. Is that worth it? Basically, it's worth it. I mean, obviously, but it's just a different way. You spend up, you pay up for something that's worth more money, versus buying 100 items for $1 each, and then making $10 off of each item, et cetera, right? Well, obviously that's $1,000, but you get my point, right? Whereas instead of selling 20 items to make the $200 profit, you sell 3 items. 3 book sets, but you get my point, right? 3 items. It's just you have to spend more money to buy those. So if those opportunities are coming to you, try them out. I know a lot of people prefer that. They prefer to put out more money to get a higher value or a potentially higher profitable item that sells quickly, and then get their money back plus a good amount of profit, right? Because turning doubling $10 into 20 is great, obviously, but doubling $20 into 40 is great, but doubling 200 into 400 with the same amount of items is even better, right? Because you're getting to that higher profit. You're making more money, right? The same amount of time. So it's up to you. What do you think? Because he did bring me another set, but it was all chewed up here on the corner.
It was a complete set of a different book set, but it was all chewed up, and it wasn't nearly as valuable. It was going for like, I would probably end up selling it between 50 and $70, so it's not really worth it. But I guess he doesn't have. Well, he did bring me something else that was potentially worth like over $1,000. It would just be super slow to sell, and I wasn't willing to. He wanted a ridiculous amount of money for it. I wasn't willing to put out that kind of money. I would be more interested in doing consignment. But yeah, let me know what you think. Is this something you prefer to do? Have you done it? Do you kind of mix both, where you spend less money on some items that you double, but it's not as much. You're not making as much as you would of spending more money on an item.